It's estimating that if you were to do Google ads for this amount of traffic, it would cost you this much per month.
Now I know what Alex Hermosi is talking about when he says he's spending, X amount of time on content right now because he would have to pay literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the same amount of reach.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to our channel where we are going to talk about everything e-commerce. Today, I'm bringing in Noah, who is a SEO expert, everything search engine optimization. Any questions you guys have, feel free to drop them in the comment, and I'll make sure Noah will answer all of them, even if we get too many of those. So Noah, feel free to introduce yourself and let's share with the audience what we're going to talk about today.
Thanks, Matt. My name's Noah Kain. I run Noah Kain Consulting. I've been doing that for about 2 years. And prior to that, had 7 previous years of experience in the agency world. And past 2 years, I've been mostly working with e-commerce brands of various sizes. So I'm excited to hop on, this video here with you today and discuss a few brands. It's kind of like dissect how at least I think about SEO and how brands can think about SEO for themselves and make improvements. And at the end of the day, the goal is getting more traffic that turns into actual revenue, right?
I love that. Yes, and I'm super excited for it because my knowledge when it comes to search engine optimization isn't the biggest one, but I'm gonna be all ears. Got Shopify Mark here representing.
Nice. Yeah.
So let's dive in. Let's start with the first brand. Feel free to share your screen and let's look at the numbers. What traffic are they getting? And feel free to educate us as you go. If you catch something that they could have improved, let us know. I would love to learn about it as well.
Cool. So this first brand here goes by the name of Ruggable. They sell these washable rugs. I know my wife is really eager to get some of these and replace some of our rugs soon. So it's a really liked product. They have, as they mentioned here, over 1 million customers, which is cool. So, what's nice about this is you can imagine, with SEO, you could think, oh, well, a brand this big, like what help do they need with SEO? But if you even look a little below the surface, you can find little nuggets and opportunities. And today we're not going to, do a full comprehensive audit. That takes a lot of time, but we are going to do like a quick video audit here and just kind of dig into a few things I look for when I'm thinking about SEO, right? So
can I stop you? One question that I have for you, Noah, is, for example, they have 1 million customers. Do SEO efforts compound? So for example, the more customers you have, the more visibility you should gain, like on Google and Bing, basically because you already have so many people visiting your store that are your customers. So obviously, kind of like the social media virality, can take you viral on Google pages and be visible during multiple searches?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. I'll actually hop us over to this keyword tab here, because what you just said is actually, makes a lot of sense. So one thing SEO can help you with is which is called brand demand, right? Which is meaning basically it's kind of like you said, going viral, but in an SEO sense. And you'll see here, they rank for over 120,000 keywords, right? Which is a lot of keywords. But what I want to do here to kind of show you what I'm talking about is, they have so many customers, so many people searching for them. If we look at I'm filtering for the keywords that contain Ruggable. So they have over 1,300 keywords that use their brand name, right? And if I search by volume here, so their brand alone gets searched according to Ahrefs 400,000 times a month.
Wow.
Okay.
So that's people are looking for it, but how many people are actually ending on the site?
So here's the estimated traffic column. So just their brand alone, it's obviously multiple terms here, right? So they're getting a ton of traffic just because people know their brand. Some of that's going to be from, social media efforts, paid media efforts as well, right? They're getting their brand out that way, doing PR, all those things too. But the way in which an e-com brand can help influence these branded searches is by ranking for non-branded terms. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah. For like a brand like this, right? They sell a rug product, right? And obviously, we'll get into this in a minute. There's lots of different sort of rugs is kind of our parent keyword terms, we would call it. but then there's going to be these secondary keywords and sort of more niched down keywords that matter as well. What I'm going to do here now is actually we're going to get rid of the word Ruggable. So we're going to reverse this to not contain their brand name. Okay. And I'm going to filter by position again. So you can see, obviously, the volume on these changes quite a bit, but they rank number one for a lot of these other keywords. But anyone who's searching color rugs, or here we have Marvel rugs, they have collection pages for all these different categories, right? So there are people out there who are searching for different types of rugs, and they've done a good job at creating specific pages and collections that help them target these keyword variations and these more niche down keyword ideas, right? So if you can imagine when someone is research on something and they keep searching for the type of rug that they want, like here, rugs for dogs, this is a pretty good one. That gets over 1,000 searches per month, right? So you start stacking up keywords like this that you're ranking first for or in the top 3 or something like that. You're exposed. Not only might you be driving traffic that converts into customers, but you are also exposing your brand to a ton of more people. So especially with something like a rug, right? People, the frequency in which they buy them, that might vary. But once you become like a homeowner or whatever, right, you're going to buy a few rugs throughout your life. And so, they might keep seeing you on these searches. And now they know your brand. And then the next time they're ready to go buy, they might have seen you for the first time on doing a search for rugs for dogs, right? But then they come back to Google and they go, oh, what was the name of that brand that I saw when I did that rugs for dogs search? Oh, it was Ruggable. And that's one of the ways in which they've been able to stack up all those branded searches.
It makes sense. One question that I have regarding for example, rugs for dogs, which is something I actually looked into recently.
Yeah.
And is it usually worth it to just rank for the main products that they sell? Or because I saw there, for example, I have like some lower ticket items like doormats or stuff like that. Should they also try to rank for those? Or is it usually once they have, already a lot of work? So at what point should they look into ranking or trying to rank higher for like this lower ticket items, so that get, potentially give them traffic, customers, and later on upsell to bigger, main products, for example?
Yeah, great question. So whenever you're doing keyword research and analyzing where to start, you want to factor in a few things. So first of all, Ruggable has a nice advantage in that their domain rating is a 71. This is on a scale of 0 to 100. So this is a very authoritative website, which does help them compete for a lot of terms. And in many of the searches that they compete for, they're sometimes going up against Target, Amazon, whatever else, other really authoritative sites that all might sell rugs. So that's one thing you're going to think about. How authoritative am I, right? What other sites can I compete with from an authority perspective? So if I'm a higher authority website, I'm not quite as worried about can I compete, right? And then if I'm a lower authority site, I might say, all right, I need to be more niched down with my keywords, right? Because one thing that I've found with larger websites and big websites like Amazon and Target and those ones that I've mentioned is that they have the authority, but they rarely get quite as granular in their keyword approach as other websites. So you can beat them out because you're going to spend more effort and energy on the more specific terms, right? So like rugs for dogs would be an example. We could even see here like what shows are obviously they're ranking number 1, but we have a few boutiquerugs.com can compete on this page as well, even though their domain rating is a 52. But we have Martha Stewart and the Spruce Pets, Amazon. So these other really authoritative sites. And then
Martha Stewart sells rugs for dogs.
She's got a post about it. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Which this actually leads to another strategy where you can do what's called like parasite SEO, which is something I'm not a specialist in, but it is something many brands do. You can also form affiliate relationships with sites as well, to where they might be linking out to places where they're getting a kickback for, you can see.
Yeah, makes sense.
Right? So this is an affiliate relationship. So Ruggable is on here as well too, right? So they've got their bases covered, right? If you go to, they're obviously ranking first. And then if you go to one of these, results, they're also in there too, right? So they have their ground covered when it comes to this type of term. But that being said, kind of getting back to what you had asked, right? So how do you prioritize what to go after, when you're going after lower high ticket items. So we're factoring authority, right? We're going to factor in how difficult the keyword is to rank for, so keyword difficulty, and then who else is ranking for it, and obviously how far away am I from getting onto page one or the top of page one, and how valuable is that product collection for my brand, right? So you're kind of doing that calculus all together. And so, for example, when I'm auditing a website, I might look at, keywords that are position 5 to 20, something like that. And I'm going to turn off this compare feature so we get.
Does it calculate takes into consideration the paid searches as well, or position 1 would be like the one that is paid for, or is it organic positions?
Position 1 these are the organic position that it's in, yes. So, this would be like, these are great terms right here where it would be like, okay, do I want to rank higher for rugs for dining room table, right? Things like that. So I would go through these keywords, and you could even expand this to, like, obviously you want to rank number 1 for as many as possible. We can make this for 2 through 20, right? And I would call these keywords, any of these keywords that make sense for Ruggable, like this is the low-hanging fruit. So maybe they want to rank for the word rug itself. They're already 14th, obviously a more competitive keyword. But you get the idea here, right? These have tons of volume, and they have the authority to mess around with these keywords. They're already on page 1 here for kitchen rugs, right? That might be, it's not the most difficult keyword based off of this metric here, Katie's keyword difficulty again, and it gets searched 28,000 times a month, right? They're already on page 1. What can we do to, improve this page, right? That's how I think about things when I'm auditing a site. And
so what could they do in this case?
Yeah, so let's see. I'm gonna take a quick look here. So we have kitchen rugs. So it's, one thing you want to see is is the page kind of aligned with our keyword here? So we have kitchen rugs. This is the main heading on the site. We'll make sure that this is an H. I'll be shocked if it's not in an H1 tag, but it should be. So it is H1 heading tag, right? So they have that squared away. The other thing I'm going to look at is the meta title. So this is right here, meta title, and then the meta description is down here. This is actually what shows up. So let's type in
on Google, right?
This is the stuff that shows up. You can see they have paid ads running here too. But this is the blue text and then the copy down here that shows up. Google will rewrite this stuff sometimes, but even with that being said, you still want to optimize them as best as you can. And the reason being is you will expose your page you're working on to different types of keywords. There can be secondary keywords. As you can see here, they have kitchen rugs and then washable runner rugs, kitchen runner rugs, and more. So they've included the main keyword as well as what they feel are some good secondary phrases, right? So I'm not against what they've done here, but one thing you can do with your meta title and then the description, but more specifically the meta title, is you can do some testing, right? So will I rank higher or get more clicks from Google if I add in a call to action here, right? So I could say shop kitchen rugs and then some other stuff, things like that. So you always want to be testing things like that. And
could they do a YouTube video series? Because I know YouTube is owned by Google, so it could help with ranking. At least that's my assumption. Could they do like a maybe quick video series on kitchen rugs? Have someone clean a kitchen rug or spill wine like they have in the. I think it could be something. I don't know what it is, but could spill wine and clean it so they can make it like a little bit entertaining as well. So rank higher on YouTube, but at the same time maintain this kitchen rugs, keyword throughout the video and description, tags, etc.
Totally. And this would be a great product to leverage YouTube. I'm wondering here if there are even any, sometimes, the video carousel pops up, but not today for kitchen rugs. Obviously there might be some videos, but that's a great idea too, right? You can always leverage other channels organically. A nice thing about videos, if you have a good case to make a video for a page, is that if you can find a way to incorporate that YouTube video you just described onto this collection page, you're going to increase the time on site that someone is spending on the page, and Google is going to notice that, and that will help. Could potentially help with your rankings, and obviously it
Oh,
could also help with conversion because you're keeping people on the site longer, and the video might help convert them. So one thing I'll say too, about here is at the end of the day, you want people to convert. And what they've done here with this kitchen rugs page is which I kind of like, they have sort of subcategories, right? So there's runner rugs, 3x5 rugs. So they have these sort of subcategories within kitchen rugs. So that's an interesting approach. I'd be interested to find out how this has worked out for them, right? If the extra clicks, because one thing you want to worry about too is something called click depth, right? Like how many clicks does it take to actually get to where I'm shopping? I kind of like this is the reasons why I like what they've done here is that they're able to add some more copy onto the page. If that makes sense. And a lot of times collection pages don't have copy, and this is more of a hub page because you can see it's not a collection, it's a page. But if we go to their runner rugs page, now it's a collection, right? And they do have a little copy here, which is usually helpful.
Is the copy, in terms of copy, does it have to like make sense? Like, is the AI or however the ranking happens in the back end, is it judging if the copy makes sense, or the more copy the better, or the longer the landing page the better because you have more opportunities to plug in some copy? How does it work?
Yeah, so a few things you want to avoid, right? You don't want to necessarily keyword stuff, that you do want to have some other language on the page. You want to provide a good user experience, so you don't want someone to have to, as you can see here, they've added in this read more button, so someone doesn't have to scroll down forever to get to the products, right? They can read this or not if they want to, and Google will still crawl this either way, right? But you do want to, there are strategies you can employ with the copy to, write about these runner rugs in a way that's going to convince somebody to make a purchase, right? One thing I've noticed, sometimes I've worked with brands that are similar to this before, where there's a strong focus on the brand itself, right? And one thing I see that happens that affects SEO negatively is sometimes the copy they produce is overly branded, right? And you do have to have a mix where of course, this needs to be branded because it's your brand, you have your tone of voice, etc. But sometimes, if you're thinking about SEO, like they either get too wordy in certain ways or get flowery with their language in a way that's not helpful for SEO, or not using the right keyword phrases or secondary phrases, things like that. So if we were to run an analysis with some tools on this copy or the copy over here, we might find some opportunities to improve these pages. I'm also going to look at, so another thing you want to look out for them, they probably have this correct here, but you can see this next heading downs in H2. These are all things I look at when I'm looking at sites.
H3.
Now we have H3, right? So they have this set up pretty well. Another thing I would, wonder about this page, right? If we're kind of going to refresh, I'm going to refresh us here, right? They're ranking 8th for this. Another really powerful technique for SEO is internal linking. So I'm going to look at the internal links for this page. And you can see there are not very many internal links on this site. Are you familiar with internal links?
Would that be a link that you have between on your website? So not going outside of your website?
Yeah, so they're similar to backlinks, which people have heard of, right? But they are within your website, right?
Yeah.
So it could be another page in your website linking internally to
your
page here.
Page.
Right. And you can see, in the case, they have just a couple of links. It's really not enough. This could be a really key opportunity. One of the best places to get internal links from is your blog. So here's their blog, which they have kind of an alternative user experience for, which is fine. My preference would be for it not to be blog.ruggable.com. That's just, I'd rather just be, subdomain.
So with
I guess with
this blog doesn't have to be. Well, you said you would prefer the same kind of like website, right? So is this like, for example, this blog could be on WordPress, but the store's in Shopify? Does it make
Sometimes
any
people
difference?
do that. It's okay to do that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it works. You can do that, right? But my preference is always keep the experience as similar as you can. That's what I find. But
Because
they've decided to go with, yeah, good.
it almost looks like a different brand, like
Exactly, right. Yeah.
Into the
They've
Watch
decided
makes sense.
to make a brand out of their blog here. They've named it something unique, which is fine, but again, it's all preference. And anyways, as you can see here, a few things I'm going to make a note on with their blog is they haven't published a blog since March. Really, even just doing 2 blogs a month is enough consistent content as long as they're authoritative and not just, don't do like 300-word blog posts or something like that, a few thousand words, get some fresh content, have a nice cadence with your content creation. But I wonder if there's let me search here. You know what, though? I just realized, I wonder if we're not seeing the internal links here because they have this on
The blog.
the subdomain. Let's see, but we're gonna look at this anyways. This is not really that long of a blog post. Here we go. 8 classic rugs that will transcend the test of time. So what I'm looking for here is, did they internally link? So they do have some links here. So this goes to their red rugs collection. But I'm not seeing is I don't think there's going to be a internal link here to that rugs page. There are links here going to these collection pages. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So basically a link that sends traffic to the page we were previously on, or like inside of their
So
store,
here's
but
an
not the
example.
product page.
Here they've linked from the keyword phrase minimalist rugs, and
Hmm.
they're linking to
The product page,
this collection page for minimalist
collection
rugs.
page.
So this is what you want to be doing. It appears to be that they might not be doing that enough for that rug page we were looking at, the main rug page, right?
Could
So things
you
like that, yeah,
could you
good.
update or upgrade your blog post if you see that it's ranking? Will that hurt or will that improve? For example, you come back to the same blog post and you maybe add a video. Now they could record a YouTube video and plug it in here. You said it can benefit it. So overall, you see that being is this an activity that you see doing? It's worth doing, or what's your opinion on that? Coming back to old blog post that is ranking already and updated.
Updating old content can be very valuable because over time things will fall off a bit, and if there's value in updating it, certainly do so. Videos obviously can take a lot of time to produce and a lot of resources, so it's not always viable. We've just discovered something really cool here. So we found kitchen rug, right? It is linked to a page on the site, but, and I'll show you this. This is the kitchen rugs collection page. Okay. So we have a collection page here, and we have just this page, which I would call like a landing page, right? These are both optimized for the keyword phrase kitchen rugs. Do you understand?
That makes sense.
That can create something called keyword cannibalization, which is
Oh,
where you have Google is like, all right, you have both these pages here, and they're kind of competing for the same thing. And it's like, which one do I actually want to rank?
how
Right.
did you call?
Or it's or maybe the collection page would have better success than this page, right? You don't really know until you get rid of one. We should check one thing real quick though, because with a site this big, you never know how good of an SEO they're working with. But let's just check. I'm interested now to see. So I'm checking the canonical tag here, which is a tag you can add to a page to where you can say, hey, yeah, this page exists, but the page that this should actually rank for is this other page. So you can sometimes change, but they have this set to what we call self-referencing. So it's set to that. I'm just going to make sure the collection page is the same. So I'm not looking like an idiot for those who know what they're doing. But no, they're both self-referencing. So we don't have that going on either. So I would say, let's see, this could be interesting. Where we have kitchen rugs. I want to see. So one thing you can see sometimes when you have something like this with 2 pages competing for the same keyword is you might see in here both the pages would show up in the history for the rankings. Here we don't have that, but what we do have is extreme fluctuation, right? We're dipping down to position 92 right over here, but then back here we were just below page 1. Now we're back up to 8, but a few weeks ago we were at 56th, right? So something tells me if we were to do a thorough audit of the site, I'm wondering how many pages and collection pages would have these kind of competing keyword terms, right? This would be a really easy way to get some of these keywords to boost up quite a bit higher.
Is
Yeah.
that normal? Do you see that happening often? You go from like position 8 to like position 56. Is that something that you can expect to
Well,
see regularly?
this happens all the time with plenty of websites, but it's not what you want to have happen, right? You want to have now here we're not on page 1, right? But you want to have more of this where we're not on page 1, more consistent. Now, if this trend line were, hey, we're on position 8, maybe 7 through 10 over here for a couple of months, right? That's what you want to see, that consistency, because otherwise you're spending some time where you're visible and sometimes where you're not.
Makes sense,
right? But this problem here with it's not really to knock anybody. The thing is, there's some brands like this are really big, so you get lots of people with great ideas. And I think the overall idea of this kitchen rugs page is great. And obviously, it's very common to have a collection page for your collections, right? All that makes sense, right? But from an SEO perspective and a keyword perspective, we've created a bit of a problem, right? I'm kind of interested to see too what I'm going to look at just this collection page now and see. So this is, yeah, it's interesting. The collection page ranks for 26 keywords. I flipped this toggle here, main positions only, because you can see these here are site links, which if you ever notice, like on a result on Google, there's like the main result and then a few other links that go to that same site, like options to click on. That's what those site links are. But I like to take those out because it can be kind of confusing because you're like, oh, this site ranks number 1 for these, but really it's a site link, so it's a little different.
So I think you have the same thing on when you run Google ads, search ads, and you have like site links that you can do, FAQ page or whatever.
Right. So here, all right, cool. Ruggable kitchen liner. That's a branded term though. But then outside of that, like this is pretty interesting. This collection page has no page 1 keywords, right?
So right now you're looking at the collection page only with the kitchen rugs, and
Yeah.
we see that they're not ranking there well, or at least
Now let's in the inverse, let's look at this page, right? This page here ranks for over 2,000, over 2,200 keywords, right? So now, obviously, in a situation like this, pretty easy decision as to like, are we going to delete this? You always have to make decisions. Are we getting rid of this kitchen rugs page? Absolutely not, right? Too much SEO equity here, right? This is killing it. But we do want to think about. I'm not going to make a decision for Ruggable right here on this video, right? But we do want to think about or figure out, right? Is this kitchen rugs collection page holding back
this to rank even better
landing page from ranking better for keywords that it's not number 1 for?
So now I can see how in-depth SEO can be, because when you consider this is just one kind of like almost like one keyword, we can say
it's one keyword.
And we're spending over like 15 minutes or so on one keyword and looking
and is this internal link that one goes to the collection page, not the landing page, right? Do these need to be going to the landing page of the collection page? Most likely, yes. Right.
Yeah. How much traffic do they have in general in the last, let's say this year, from the beginning of this year? Can you see that as well?
Yeah. So right now they're 450,000 a month organic. So
wow.
Now
organic.
Now keep in mind, right? This is just an estimation from Ahrefs. I generally find this is usually less than what sites actually get.
Less?
Yes. So this is they're probably getting more organic traffic than that.
So they're getting literally 500.
They're likely getting more than 500,000 visits a month. Yeah.
So that's like over 5 million or visitors a year organically.
Yep.
And the traffic value, because that's something I like. I like the dollar sign next to it. Does it mean what does it mean? Does it mean that they would have to pay for the same amount of traffic, this estimated amount, or what does it mean?
It's estimating that if you were to do Google ads for this amount of traffic, it would cost you this much per month.
Now I know what Alex Hermosi is talking about when he says he's spending, X amount of time on content right now because he would have to pay literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to get the same amount of reach,
Yeah,
and
totally.
it compounds. So
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, I'll
that's
say with this though, right? Again, this is just a tool, right? So, like I find the traffic is usually less than what it actually is. I have worked with brands where the traffic value according to Ahrefs is very low, even though in reality they're getting tons of traffic and it would cost them, quite a bit of money to get what they're getting, right? So, the traffic value number I find is actually all over the place. I'm not sure if it would cost this much. It could cost even more, right? I don't know. But obviously
I
that number I would say is not probably not far off though, right? So
I have a tricky question for you. Knowing that you already have this traffic, right? And obviously, if you have Google Analytics and Shopify Store Analytics, you can see more data, right? I mean, the
yeah.
accurate data. But knowing the numbers we see here, would you, from the money you've earned from the organic traffic, would you reinvest into like video production so we can add this YouTube videos we discuss? Maybe do this for multiple pages, or would you spend that on maybe like paid traffic, Google searches, search traffic? What would you how would you reinvest that money that they earn from like organic traffic?
You always want to work with data, right? So if I had access to their Google Analytics, I would look at their channels, right? Let's look at paid search, let's look at display ads, let's look at Google organic, right? And make an informed decision there, right? Because obviously, I'm now with this brand, I'm pretty confident a lot of this traffic is converting, right?
Yeah,
But if they're seeing that organic traffic, if the conversion rate is blowing paid search out of the water, right? And they're probably spending a good chunk of money on paid search as well. Um, like why would the right thing to do would be to do a proper comprehensive audit on the site and make like a bulletproof action plan to where it's like we're going to go find all of these pages that are kind of similar and make decisions about them. We're going to go look and find all these internal link opportunities and figure out what's going on with these. We're going to say, hey, we haven't made a new blog post in over a whole quarter, basically. Like, what's our game plan to get back on track with making content, right? All of those things we're going to worry about.
gotcha.
Yeah.
I saw one thing when you were looking at the main page, not the main page, like the tool that you were sharing before. There's different countries on the right. There we go. On the right side, there's different countries. Is there a way to prevent basically the pages to rank in like different countries if you don't ship to these countries?
That is a bit above my pay grade. I don't dabble too much in international SEO. I want to say that there is, but if I'm just being straightforward about it, I want to do a little more research before I made a solid statement on
Gotcha.
that. The real thing would be like it's unlikely you're going to get a ton of traffic from countries you don't want if you're not trying to optimize for those countries. So
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. And I can imagine they could have some sort of like copy on the checkout page or maybe on the main page if you see that the traffic is coming from a country they don't support or they don't ship to. Obviously, they will not get orders from these countries.
yeah,
Probably. How would when I hear or when I talk about rugs, I all immediately think about let's go to Lowe's or Home Depot and check what they have.
yeah,
How
yeah.
can they? I can imagine a lot of other people will do the same. How can they get potentially attract these people that are going to Lowe's or Home Depot or visiting their pages, look up their pages? How could they, steal a little bit of that traffic to
Yeah,
their
well, they've done
advantage?
that. Yeah, the way that Ruggable has done that, at least my understanding of the product that they offer is so you can have washable rugs. So they develop a product that makes them stand out quite a bit.
Mm,
So any homeowner, that's doing their busy work around the house, right, to get things cleaned up or whatever, like knows how much of a pain it can be to clean up a rug. And having a washable rug differentiates them a bit from most stores. So I'm sure it took a lot of effort. Obviously, they've done a lot of SEO work, but I'm sure it took a lot of paid ads and also social media awareness, right? Just like getting people aware that there's washable rugs that exist, and not only are they washable, but they still have nice aesthetics. They still look good, right? Um, they can still match the decor of my house, right, in multiple rooms and whatnot.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to test it out. We're looking at some rugs for the office space, so I'm wondering if that could be a good fit, because I like the idea of having washable rugs, especially if you have a pet at home or multiple pets.
Yeah,
This can be a big thing. So,
yeah,
and I can only imagine how beneficial it is to have, to be able to
yeah.
just
I
wash
have
it.
a dog, and he sheds a lot, so it's like
Yeah,
it's a pain to
it's
go rent the carpet cleaner and have to dig all that up.
yep, 100%, 100%. Wow. All right, that was a pretty big dive into SEO for Ruggable.com, honestly. So I think we can wrap it up here, because I don't even know what time it is, how long we've been doing
Yeah,
that.
we almost spent our whole time there. So
So yeah, but that was fun. I mean, I've learned
yeah,
a ton. It slowly builds a good picture in my head of, how much effort you need to put into SEO to make sure it's
yeah,
working. But if you do it correctly, we've seen the amount of, rewards you can get from it. Like,
yeah,
this is a solid organic traffic right there.
yeah, yeah,
So I can only imagine it would be cool to see what's going to happen with their traffic in 12 months from now. Or
yeah.
is it, I'm sure you can
Well,
track
it's
it
funny
back.
when I with them in the winter, like they were worried about the fact that the traffic had stagnated. So it looks like it's still there.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
haven't done anything.
Cool point,
If
because you
I'm,
can
if
probably
I'm,
look back, right? Into more
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. All right.
If I'm
Well,
lucky, maybe their CEO is going to see this video and land a
yeah,
client. And then I'll give them a
100%.
referral to you for email marketing.
100%.
Yeah,
It's easier. That's why I love YouTube, because now you can just share the link and they see it. And the thing is, speaking of email, when you send it to Gmail users, or someone has a tweet, basically,
yeah.
they will see it as attachment, the thumbnail. They will see the thumbnail. I don't know
Oh,
if you
right, right,
notice
right.
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
If you have like your footer, email footer has like a YouTube link, or your YouTube channel, you
Yeah,
can easily, this will show as a thumbnail as well, so that easily stands out
yeah,
from your email. So yeah, that's a cool feature for sure. And of course, it helps with ranking. So I feel like e-commerce and YouTube is still new. I don't see too many brands. They've
totally.
tried it. I see every brand has like, the social media links. A lot of them have like YouTube icon there, but when you click it, there's like one video from 2017
Yeah,
and and nothing else. I mean, honestly, it's the same as Instagram. It's and it may be better, because people can, it's easy to find good content. Maybe you can put together like playlists on YouTube, then to go on your Instagram and find the post from last year. Like you don't, you're not, no one's gonna do it.
yeah. If you're big enough and can afford it, like you need to be using YouTube like you're making your own little like branded show type thing with a charismatic host that's just like, you know, I don't know what, but or partnering with existing shows too. That's another thing you can do.
Yeah,
Uh,
I have a bunch of ideas. I would have a bunch of ideas for them
like
as
like
well. I can imagine.
like Hexclad that we didn't dive into obviously, but looked at. Like they've partnered with Gordon Ramsay, right? He uses their pans and like so
Go
helps a
better
lot.
than this. This guy knows how to cook and talk in front of the camera
Yeah,
for sure.
and he's super famous, right? So
Yeah, and he's obviously super famous. That helps if you have a celebrity that you use in a keyword. Does it help with ranking as well?
oh yeah, totally. I mean, if you look at Hexclad's keyword rankings, they have like keywords that are like Gordon Ramsay pans, like
Really?
people are searching that. Yeah.
So that's another way to use influencer marketing other than paying $2,000 for one Instagram story shout out.
Yeah. I'm sure he probably has equity in the company or something like that. But
Yeah, I mean, of course, at this scale, yeah, for
yeah,
sure, but that makes sense. I'm wondering how much he would charge, probably like K for Instagram posts or something like that. So yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure. Thanks so much for educating us and the entire audience here on SEO. I've learned a ton. It was fun. I would love to do that again, or regularly, even breaking down some pages, seeing how they could improve. And yeah, happy to have you back on in the near future.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. We'd love to be back and appreciate you having me on.
Thanks so much.